Hey, what's going on, folks? Hope all is well. You know me, I just like to get straight into things. So, it turns out Activision lied regarding Modern Warfare 2 and how it was going to be a 2 year length cycle this time round. Well, then again, did they actually lie? I mean, people got drips and drabs from the developer investor conference or whatever the hell they do every quarter or something to speak about the game, and people picked part of sentences basically saying it's going to be like a 2 year length game with DLC the following year. But was there anything really concrete to state that it was going to be a 2 year game? But nevertheless, we all had the idea that we had a game that was going to be worth 2 years. I mean, if you look at the lack of content we've had through season one and the lack of content we're going to get through season two, kind of made sense in why we just assumed we were going to get 2 years worth of content. Because in my eyes, I looked at it as this is clearly not 2 years worth of content. It's a year's worth of content, and they're just trying to stretch it through 2 years. That's how I saw it. But no, turns out that in November this year we're gonna get a brand new premium game. You know, not a DLC, which I would have thought they would have thrown out and slapped a $70 price tag on it. You know, just to get the same amount of money. But now they decided to go full blown new game. Let's forget about Modern Warfare 2022. Because really, like Modern Warfare 2022, the numbers that they made in the first 10 days, that was all hype. They made that money based on the honeymoon period and the whole hype of the trailers. But the game is it's a dud. You know, it's basically we need a term for this when people buy something out of hype and then the game's trash. However, the stats show that it was a success based on what people have bought. We need a term. Yeah, we're talking Final Fantasy 15 that went through the same thing. Sold on hype, the game was horrendous. Final Fantasy Remake, sold on hype, the game wasn't horrendous but just not good. And Cyberpunk, that was the same situation. It sold on hype, the game wasn't good. Even though it's improved drastically now, we need a term for these wolves in sheep's clothing games. But apart from that, I just want to say now that there's going to be a new game coming 2023 instead of 2024. When this game comes out in 2023, right? What are you going to do? Because I've said it time and time and time again on this channel. They're going to sell a load of trailers to you. They're going to get a bunch of shills like Modern Warzone and Charlie Intel on Twitter saying this is going to be the most anticipated game ever. This is going to be the best Call of Duty of all time. All that rubbish, all the explosive trailers and all that, pre-order now and get a free skill-based matchmaking skin when you buy before release date. All that rubbish that you get. But are you going to do what I've always told you to do? And I mean wait 2 weeks. Wait 2 weeks, literally wait 2 weeks while people are playing it. And I'm not talking 2 weeks when they do the whole trick of give you the campaign first because they know most people ain't bothered about the campaign. Yeah? They don't want to create a campaign that nobody plays. So they give you that for the first week, everyone plays that, and then multiplayer comes out the second week. I'm talking when multiplayer comes out, are you prepared to wait 2 weeks from then to see what people say and what people's views and then make a decision? Heck, if you've got the confidence, do what I do. Wait till Warzone comes out. Because we all know Warzone doesn't come out on release day. You've got the campaign first week, then you've got multiplayer second week, and then 4 weeks into that, it's usually Warzone with new map or whatever comes out. Or, you know what I mean? Something new for Warzone. I usually wait until after Warzone. And then I bought this game on a discount. So I kind of won. I beat their system. They didn't beat me. But what are you going to do? Are you going to sit there and not be bothered about this fear of missing out? Because there's a lot of people who will get sucked into the hype, buy the game, realize the game's trash, and be like, oh, I don't want to play anymore. Well, you just wasted $70 or £70, whatever the hell it is. Yeah? What a stupid move that was. We've seriously got to start thinking logically. This game rips you off every single year. Year by year by year, they take your money and give you nothing. They spend more time and effort in the campaigns before release than actually giving you a good campaign throughout the yearly cycle. They're too busy with trying to get money from you, and this is what the problem is with gaming today. It's not like gaming when I grew up, where the game was based on what the developers did and basically the community's response. So it was a conversation between us and developers. Now we've got corporate involved. We've got a third entity getting involved in the conversation with the developers, and they're not only just getting involved with the developers, they're actually now imposing what they think the games need. And I'm not trying to let the developers off the hook. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying corporate really does impose its view on developers now. So we're getting games that are just based on corporate money-hungry middle-aged men and possibly middle-aged women just giving us horrendous games just so we play rubbish and they make money. And this is why Call of Duty is, some will say it's dying, I say it's dead. You know, you can't just keep giving people the same thing every single flipping year. Every year you give people the same game. It's not, multiplayer is not advanced at all. It's the same stuff over and over and over and over. And people still fall for buying it just out of sheer tradition. Just because it's Call of Duty and we all kind of grew up with it and it was like the number one FPS game. And we just buy it because you know it's the thing to do. It's like those people who just vote Democrat for the sake of voting Democrat. You know, it's just they just vote Democrat out of tradition. They don't actually look at the policies. Oh, maybe conservative might actually have something for me. But no, they just keep buying into this game simply because it's the brand new. You know, the brand new car feeling, the brand new car smell. It's just it's rubbish. But on lighter news, we just also may have a competitor for Call of Duty. Now, this came out of nowhere in my eyes. I played a game called Boundary last night on stream, and I can honestly say, I've said it from the longest, the only way you can compete with Call of Duty is if you take Call of Duty's movement, the basics of their movement. I'm talking the ADS, the aim down sights, the way the game feels swaying from left to right. If you can copy Call of Duty's basic fundamentals, you're basically on the right path to competing with them. And that's what Boundary did. Don't get me wrong, it's a game that's in space, different kind of mechanics in the space of like you're in the air. It's not boots on the ground at all. However, they've got the basics down of the aim and shoot. So if you go away from Call of Duty and then you go into Boundary, it's got the same feeling. Where a lot of people don't bother with other FPS games, a lot of casuals, because they'll go to Battlefield 2042 and the game just feels clunky on controller, and it's like, nah, it's not Call of Duty. But Boundary actually makes you, it's got the feeling of Call of Duty when you aim and thingy. It literally just feels like you've gone from one game to another, which is exactly the same. And we just, hopefully, what they've done, other game developers just may copy and take the movement. I think game developers need to realize if you want to stand a chance against the big mammoth of Activision, you've got to take what they made great and put it in your game and just it is what it is. Take what made this game great and add on to it. Yeah, there's a reason why Resident Evil 4 did the whole corner angle FPS, shooting from the corner, top right corner, and then all third person FPS took it on, because when something's good, you stick with it. And what else? What else did I want to talk about? I think that's it. Yeah. We're now not getting a 2-year cycle with Modern Warfare 2022. Yes, everybody who bought it got shafted. You know. But the company just wants to rid itself of the name and just move on. Yeah, they're not going to do the whole add-on thing. It's just like, no, we're just going to stick with what we had, because clearly we made a lot of money off the release of Modern Warfare 2022. However, we've not made pretty much any money from the in-game store this year round because nobody wants to play it. And money's dropping. The investors are probably starting to moan at Activision, saying, listen, we're not making any money off this game. We need to move on really quickly. And they've just said, sack the 2-year cycle. This year, you're getting a brand new game. And I believe Treyarch's making it. Yeah, to be honest, I don't really care what game developer makes it. Most cases, out scenario, it's usually just the same stuff. We're gonna get the campaign first, multiplayer second week, a bunch of maps again where you're not going to get the maps you want. And they're probably going to bring the movement back. They'll probably bring back slide cancelling. They'll probably bring back bunny hopping. They'll probably bring it all back. Because as annoying as those mechanics were to some people, there was some that did like them and some that didn't mind them. So they're going to have to bring back what made it good. However, one thing that they're going to have to accept is that the money that they got through that cough period, it's not happening again. It's not happening. No. People get fed up. Casuals get fed up in about a month's time, and they just leave. Yeah, yeah. You've heard me say it in previous videos. They did this year round on this yearly iteration of the game. They took a chance, and that was to sacrifice the core and pro gamer that sticks with them throughout the year. Sacrifice those guys completely in exchange for making casuals permanent. They were going to make the game so casual friendly by butchering the movement, thinking casuals would stay, and casuals didn't. They still left. And when the casuals left, because that's what a casual does, they stay in your game for maybe 2 months, 3 months if you're lucky. And when they left, the core gamer and the pro gamer basically said, I'm not sticking around. This game isn't catered to me. So then the company lost the casual gamer and pro gamer, and then that's why the numbers are dropping and dwindling like no tomorrow. Yeah, they've got to leave this game quickly and start fresh and give you all the things you want. Arrogance, people, it's arrogance. Corporate arrogance. I've said enough. Spoke long enough. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, yeah? See you on the next one. Peace.